The FJ's gone, and I traded it for a crappy lawn tractor. Check that out. Isn't she a beaut? Absolutely worth the trade, don't you think? All it needs is a new steering shaft bushing, and forward it will go. This has no reverse. This thing has been pieced together from, I think, 3 different tractors, is what I took to build one. They were all very, very cheap. It wasn't the wisest decision, but it was a cheap decision. But anyway, into the main topic of this video. Yes, seriously, I did sell the FJ, but stick around to the end of the video and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. But before I get around to the reason why you should stick around, and it is a pretty big one, I'd like to talk about why I sold the FJ. The number one reason is it was just too nice. I've never really owned a nice vehicle, and that one was a nice vehicle. It was a one owner, pretty low mileage. It had 90-something thousand miles when I got rid of it. I owned it for a year, and I just decided that I just couldn't let it be what I wanted it to be. So a little background. When I bought the FJ, I think that was my 4th vehicle of owning at one time at that time. I've owned far more than that in the past, but I don't even want to think about that right now. So I think I had 3 Wranglers, and I bought the FJ on top of those Wranglers. So I've got this one behind me here. This is my fun car. I've had this thing forever. I never plan on getting rid of it, and I put as much time and money into it as I cared to, and I really don't care about seeing a return because I'll never sell it. So that was number 1. Number 2, I had a Wrangler that I used primarily for off-road. It could drive the highway just fine. It could do street use, no problem, but it was definitely set up for off-roading, and I beat the crap out of it on trails. It was a lot of fun. Long story short, probably shouldn't have got rid of that one, but we'll find something to replace it. And then on the third Wrangler that I had was a daily driver Wrangler. It was a stock Wrangler, 4-cylinder, 5-speed. I didn't care about driving it in the salt in the winter up here, and it was just good to go. So the FJ, in theory, was supposed to replace the off-road Wrangler and the daily driver Wrangler. Like I said, I'll never sell this one, so that would have left me with 2 vehicles, down from the 3 or 4. I got the FJ. I started kind of modifying it and doing other things to it, and it was just too nice, man. I just could not do what I wanted to do with it. Around where I live, there's trees everywhere. The trails get really grown in. You're guaranteed to get scratches and scrapes going on trails, and being a black vehicle, those are just going to be highlighted. You can't, you really can't get away without scratching and having a show on that. Different colors don't show scratches as much, but black is just the worst. So I realized it was never going to be what I wanted it to be. I was primarily just using it for long trips. So any time I wanted to go a few hundred miles or more, I would take the FJ, and it did excellent. It was very good highway manners, handled much better than a Jeep with a short wheelbase. So it was great. I never took it off-road once. I just couldn't bring myself to do it with how nice the vehicle was. So I did some thinking on it, and it was time to let it go and find something else. So let me show you what I got. Surprise! It's an FJ. Just couldn't get away from them. If you've been watching for a while, you may recognize this from being in the background of some other videos. This was my buddy's FJ. It's now mine. I bought it from him. So at the time that I sold my FJ, I really wasn't sure what I was going to buy. But right after I sold it, my buddy who previously owned this FJ decided he didn't want to deal with it anymore because it's got some problems and little things I'll need to address, but it's not not terrible, and I got a decent price on it, so I don't really care. But the biggest plus on this thing is it's not black. So I mean, it's got scrapes and scratches everywhere. You can hardly see them. It does need quite a bit of maintenance work done to it, so we'll be getting to that eventually. I'm not sure if I'll bother getting the camera out for that. It's pretty much the same stuff that had to do on mine. So the number one issue we're going to have to deal with here is the roof is leaking water down the A-pillar. So that was actually an issue on mine. I fixed that, so I'm going to have to fix this one as well. Apparently that's kind of a common problem on these. Just the sheet metal on the roof separates and starts letting water in, which is not cool. But so that's number one. Number two, the rear brakes are sticking. So we're gonna have to, well, I don't know if they're sticking. They're overheating. I got up to 400 degrees the other day on a little bit of a decline, so I'm gonna have to pull those off, figure out what's going on with that. But I have a feeling it's just the pads that are sticking inside of the caliper. I don't think the caliper's bad, but we'll figure that out. And then also, I don't remember if it's this side or the other side. Either way, one of the front struts, not that you can see any of that, is leaking fluid. So I ordered some Bilstein 5100s, and those will act as a leveling kit as well. So we'll be leveling this thing out. I picked up a winch mount for the front here, so we'll be putting that on. All kinds of stuff. But that's what's going on in the FJ world. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update, and yeah, I guess that's it for now. Hopefully I'll be getting a little more free time pretty soon here. So at that point we'll go ahead and start moving forward with the mods again. But anyway, appreciate you watching. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to see more to come here.